He said he don't believe in the Olympics. He doesn't support Olympics because they mocked religion. That's not true. What happened was all sports in the Olympics are supposed to be uniform, and we are supposed to accommodate the laws in the country that hosts that sport. Now, the thing is that most sports in most countries do not allow you to wear any type of garments over your participating attire if those garments are not required for your performance in that Olympic activity, in that athletic sport. Which means, I'm going to pause for a minute because I want to make sure that y'all catch up. This means that you're not wearing a do-rag, you're not wearing a bandana, you're not going in there with cool Mod shades, you're not wearing 40 gold chains around your neck like Mr. T when you're going to participate in the activity. You're not doing it. You don't have a bunch of extra gold rings the size of Super Bowl championships when you're going into to participate in the activity. So the fact is that Olympics are supposed to be neutral like Switzerland. The Olympics have allowed certain countries' religious beliefs like the hijab to be worn during ceremonies and Olympic Games out of respect for those people's ability to come out from their oppression. But it is a biased decision to make because everybody is supposed to be the same in the Olympics and only judged by their talent, not their religious background, not their heritage. Okay. So this past year, and I already did this show already, you missed it. The Olympics did not allow those countries to express their religious beliefs in Finland because Finland has a national law that says that you cannot wear religious garments in public. Not because the Olympics Association said we're going to pick on the people with the turbans. That isn't what happened. What happened was in a country that says it is against the law to wear religious clothing, the Olympics was held in that country, which means you couldn't get off the plane with religious clothing. You wouldn't be able to commute through the streets to get to the Olympic Stadium with those religious clothing, which means you would not be able to participate in the ceremonies in open public with religious clothing. So you wouldn't even be able to make it to the activity to participate in the activity with religious clothing because it's against the law. So the Olympics didn't mock anybody's religion. But because it is against athletic policy for you to wear anything on your head that is not part of the sport that you're participating in, you're technically not supposed to wear it anyway. It is a violation of athletic participation in those sports that you have stuff on your head that does not contribute to your safety in the sport. If it's a female, you're supposed to have your hair tied up. If it nothing. He said, what about a cross? What about a cross? Nothing. You're not supposed to have nothing on. Nothing. You are supposed to be able to wear the uniform that you are issued, and outside of the uniform, if you're wearing protective gear like helmets, earmuffs, mouth guards, eyepieces that protects your eyes for the sport that you're playing in, that's it. The only thing you're supposed to be wearing on your head is a hair tie to keep your hair out of your face or a headband as a sweat guard. That is it. So the hijab, you're not supposed to be wearing that because it is against athletic sports rules and regulations to not have headgear on, not to not promote your religious belief, to not have headgear. He's going to say, oh, they mocked the cross. They didn't mock the cross, because mocking the cross would be turning it upside down. Mocking the cross would be getting a cross tattoo on your forearm, knowing that 90% of the time that cross is going to be upside down. It doesn't matter whether or not the cross is facing up when your hand is up, or if the cross is facing up when your hand is down. When you move your arm in the opposite direction, you're inverting the cross, which is an antichrist symbol. So why would you say that somebody is mocking the cross because they say that you can't wear it in a country that said that you're not allowed to wear that? You're not supposed to wear religious stuff in Finland. It's against their laws. Before you go to another country, you're supposed to know what their laws say and respect their laws. Just because you're not a citizen of that country doesn't mean that you can say that their country's laws don't apply to you. While you're on their soil, you can be put into their jail for violating their law, and your country cannot come and get you. Unless, of course, you're Kamala Harris's vice president, go over there and go and get the 23 people that broke the laws in Russia. But all that does is make that country have less respect for Americans when Americans go to other countries and don't obey their laws. Then you get racial bias against you, because they're going to say, oh, you're American. You don't have respect. You're uncivilized because you don't respect their laws. So you can't say that they mocked her religion because she went over there with the cross. She didn't even go, to be honest with you, bro. She got a phone call and was told that Finland won't allow her to go to their country with religious garbs on, and she didn't even get on the plane. You would have had a better argument talking about the people who were participating in the Olympic sports from countries that were banned because of the conflicts in Ukraine. And those people who were banned had nothing to do with it. They had nothing to do with the conflicts. But because their passport came from a country that was in conflict, they got banned from being able to participate. And those people who were allowed to participate had to be non-affiliated participants. So if you had somebody from that country on a U.S. team or a Chinese team or a Korean team where they went over there, got a visa, got on the Olympic team, and now they're participating in a game, they were kicked off the last minute. They're kicked out of the Olympics. They've been training for this for 4 years, and they got kicked out because of conflict that has nothing to do with them. The rest of them, originating from that country, had to go there with all white on, not representing any country, for the 2 or 3 people that would be allowed to participate. Do you know how messed up that was? That's way more messed up than your false claim that somebody's picking on somebody else because of their religion. No, they're just enforcing the laws uniformly, and people are being pissy about it because they don't want to be told what they can't do. But you're supposed to have respect for other people the way you demand respect for yourself. And if somebody says, in this country, you can't do that, if that's what you want to do, don't go to this country. What she chose to do, not go to that country. So they're not picking on her religion. Actually, to be honest with you, they are depriving everybody else's religion from equal expression in the Olympics, because they only allowed her religion to be expressed in the Olympics. So by putting a stop to that, they brought back neutrality, which actually means that for the first time in forever, they actually were not biased, because a bias against something actually can be reversed as bias for something. Allowing something to happen for one specific group is just as much bias as not allowing one specific group to do something that everybody else is allowed to do. But you can't say that they're playing favorites against her because they're not allowing her to do something that everybody else is not allowed to do. Do you like if it I don't even know what that's about. And they mocked the final. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. He's talking about stuff right now. He's talking about stuff right now that is you're definitely not 77 years old if that's what you believe. That's no, they didn't. They didn't. You Americans mock that. Americans mock that. You've seen it on Saturday Night Live. You've seen it on The Passion of the Christ. Americans mock that. Okay. That's not something that's nobody's mocking. The Olympics didn't really mock anybody. The Olympics didn't make any comments for or against anybody's religion. I know because I did 2 shows about it.